Regular school board meeting, Tuesday, May 19th, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. I will note that Dr. Kaufman is absent. All other members are present. And we are going to start with the flag salute. Eli, I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about you, and then you can come up here, okay? Is that okay? Leading our flag salute tonight is Eli Littleton. He is in the 6th grade in Miss Moore's class. His parents are Brad and Missy Littleton. Eli loves to swim, play basketball, eat pizza, watch TV, and loves hanging out with his friends. Do you want to do it from there, or do you want to come up here?
I know we already introduced him, but I wanted to show off his medals he has on today. He just went to state in Special Olympics, and he got 5th place in his 100-meter run, and then he got a silver medal on his softball throw. So he did very good. And then I know usually, or at least at the board meeting I was at when my son led the pledge, we say the pledge with him. If you guys could just listen and let his device say the pledge this time, that would be really awesome.
Fantastic.
Ready? Do I say attention, salute, pledge? Or just someone say it for me? Okay. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a small gift for you. If you would come up here and take a picture with us real quick, and we've got something for you. This one's actually probably for your mom and dad, but this one is for you. Turn around, let's take your picture. Good job, Eli. Thank you. Our next item, Tigers Roar, Kylie Fisher, state champion golf.
So this is Kylie's first year on the high school team. She's a freshman. We have 7 regular season tournaments. She won them all. And like big time won them all. And then we went to regionals at Ada, and she won that one. And so there was no pressure on her at all to win the state tournament. We started off a little rough early on, but Kylie's an amazing athlete, and she made some extraordinary shots to come back and tie up for the lead after the first day, and then just blew everybody out of the water the second day. So even though it was rainy and cold all day the second day, she just breezed right through. Going into the clubhouse, you know, you never say we got it in the bag, but we had it in the bag. Anyway, Kylie does a great job.
Good job. Take a picture with us. Anything you want to share? You don't have to, but I'm going to give you the opportunity if you want to. Okay.
I tell her I was her pre-K principal all the time, and I didn't teach her to golf. I mean, I like to take credit for those kind of things.
You taught her letters, huh?
Yeah, taught her some other things. But I know one day that she is going to be doing great big things out in the world, and I'm like, please remember me. Remember when you were 4, and remember when you graduated. Now, Nikki.
Coach,
We are
Congratulations,
so
proud
proud
of
of
you.
you. Do we have any public to be heard? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Like you guys aren't just obvious standing back there with your matching shirts and all the gifts you gave us. I'm so very sorry. Speech path month.
we
sure that you were coming. Oh, I'm just making a joke.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come and share a little bit with you this evening. My name is Emily Freeze. I'm a speech pathologist at Greenwood Elementary, and I'm gonna let everybody else on the team introduce themselves.
I'm Robin Rowland, I'm the speech path at Cherokee.
I'm Danny Haggard, and I'm part-time at Cherokee and Greenwood.
I'm Trina Mallory, just at Heritage.
I'm Jessica Downey, I'm at Sequoia Pre-K.
I'm Stephanie Ford, I'm at the high school.
And I'm Katie Deaton, and I'm at the middle school.
And I'm Nikki Malloy, and we have an SLP opening, so if anybody would like to join the best team in town, apply online on our website.
Little YouTube advertisement.
So, the reason we're here tonight is May is National Speech, Language, and Hearing Month. So we try to make it out to the May board meeting every year, just to share a little bit about what we do. We're frequently asked, what is a speech pathologist and why are they important in a school? So a speech pathologist is somebody who has a master's degree and is trained in the evaluation, identification, and treatment of communication delays and disorders. And we know communication plays a huge foundation in all academic learning. Communication is how we relate to our world. Communication is how we build and grow relationships. Communication is how we build connections. Some of our students need support to make communication functional for them. So that's where we come in. So this could be anywhere from helping a student who's not able to produce sounds and it's affecting their literacy or spelling or social skills. It could be helping a student who's having behavior difficulties because they're not able to understand what's being asked of them or to fully express themselves. Or it could be helping a student who needs to learn an alternative mode of communication. So what we teach students connects them to the curriculum, but more importantly, it connects them to their worlds and the people in their world. So before we go, we just wanted to share a few of our stats from this year with you. Okay, so what have we done this year? So first of all, we screened over 500 Head Start, Pre-K, and kindergarten students inside and outside of our district. As a team, we collectively served 470 students regularly on IEPs, which means we wrote at least 470 IEPs, and we completed over 1,800 progress reports this year.
Wow.
Let's see. And we also, as Eli showed you, we have gotten some devices funded for some kids, which is a really big deal because they are not cheap if you've looked at them. But within the district, we've gotten 6 personal speech devices funded for these students, and we have 1 that's still pending, so it will be 7 very soon, hopefully. But we have also had 40 students who have met their goals and graduated from speech this year. And then we have identified 75 students and placed them on speech services. And to place those kids, they've all at least had 2, maybe 3, 4 assessments. So it's a lot of work to put in.
So thank you so much for your time. And, oh, I'm sorry. Did you
Well, I
have a
just
question?
had a question. The speech device that Eli used, was that his voice?
Yeah,
How does that work?
So it's not actually his voice on the device, but they have a lot of different voices you can choose from.
Uh-huh.
But that one's actually not his, that's another student's that we're borrowing, but his is supposed to be shipping today, so I'm hoping to have it
So
next week.
they speak into it?
No, they push the buttons, so
Okay.
there's, how many buttons are on that one? Is it 1,800?
There's a lot,
Yeah.
I think.
There's like thousands of buttons on that device that he has to look through and choose through to find the words he wants to say. So it's a lot harder than, us saying everyday speech. It's a motor movement they have to figure out with their hands instead of their mouth.
Oh,
But it
okay.
will be, he'll have a device for next year.
He's already been using it in speech, and so he's
Yeah.
trained on it, he's just waiting on his device.
Yeah.
So that's how he already knew how
It's really cool.
to work it.
It's a cool deal.
Wow.
Well, thank you, tell them the name of that, so if they ever see a contract come through about the software and things that we purchased in the.
Yeah, so I go through PRC Saltillo, and I actually write, and the evaluations for the speech funding, it's anywhere from 15 to 20 pages long. It's a very lengthy, my first one I did, I think, took me about 6 months to get done. I'm starting to get a little bit quicker, but yeah, it's a lengthy thing. We bill their insurance, and their insurance covers it. So it's not anything that's at cost of the school. And I'm ranging between, my most expensive device I've gotten funded for a student was $20,000. And then I think my cheapest one would be one like that, that's around $8,000 to $10,000. So it's a lot of money that's being brought into these students that we're able to single-handedly write for their insurance to approve. So,
Through their parental insurance?
yes, yeah, it's a really.
But just filling all of that out and having all
It's
the
an evaluation we have to
documentation
send,
and
to their
everything is,
physician, and they have
Yeah.
to sign a script for it, and it's a process,
it's
but
involved,
yeah.
right?
It's worth it when they can do things
Oh,
like that. because-
yeah.
I will add, I've had two of these women have helped some of my family members who took speech classes, so perfect dictation now, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your
She
support.
graduated, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah, we gotta take pictures. Some of y'all might have.
Our baby's very
I don't know, maybe,
Sure, they all-
yeah, we'll have to put her on the
What, a little
end.
bit?
Cammy's a little taller than Dana.
Can you see, are we walking them out?
I think we're good.
We're good.
One, two, three. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
First day off and you came back to work.
I know, I told Missy walking in and say, y'all get a day off today? Now, do we have any public to be heard? Okay. Item D, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the minutes from the previous meeting, May 8, 2026 special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
I will make that motion.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
I'll abstain, I wasn't there.
Okay. Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I'm gonna make my, even though I know everyone's names, because we got new.
I did that
It
every
takes a
time.
little getting used
Yes.
to get your,
The rhythm of it.
yes, it
Yes.
does, so I'm making myself a note of it. Item E, Deputy Treasurer Report and discussion to vote or not approve the monthly financials. She's ready for us.
Good evening. The bank balance as of April 30th was $24,907,762.90. Receipts for general fund for the month of April were $3,969,540.51. Building fund was $211,246.44. Sinking fund was $274,992.32. Bringing the general fund balance to $13,907,102.14. Building fund, $6,438,234.94. Bond fund, $724,716.57. Sinking fund, $2,803,011.62. Go to activity fund. Activity fund at the end of April was $1,263,332.39. Go on to utilities. So utilities from April of '25 to April of '26, electric was $19,515 more. Water was $1,203 more, and gas was $3,322 less. Now, I say that, but then I want to, because I know the electric seems really, really high. But from March to April of this year, electric was $14,000 less, water was almost $2,000 less, and gas was almost $17,000 less. So, it seemed like a lot from last year to this year, but from last month to this month, it was less than everything.
Do we know why it was, I'm trying to think what April, the weather, or was there?
Yeah, we had that horrible freeze.
Yeah,
Killed
like
all
got
my pear
cold
trees.
that one weekend, I think. I didn't go back and look at the weather actually, but
talked a little bit about, you know, going from an 8,000 square foot building to a 16,000 square foot building,
Was
you know,
thinking
letting
about
that
that the
kind
other
of
day.
all equal out, then we will see. And of course, company that we worked with for the energy management stuff will put all of that in the formula. You also probably paying more for the service, or the unit, than we were before, but we will look at all those to make sure that we are getting the guarantee that we're supposed to for the energy management savings.
I mean, I feel like just us, everyone else's electric bills seem like they're higher than,
Well, everything is
than
more
normal,
expensive.
even, the weather's been mild this
Right.
spring, but it seems like, yeah, that they're up everywhere.
Any other questions for Sabrina? Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. Principal Director Report, Athletics, Mr. Cloud.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna wing this today, didn't have time to go back and get all my stuff. What you wouldn't see, cause you don't see a bunch of state championships and a bunch of state qualified, that's how we equate a good season or not. And I think sometimes with what you have, to work with, you know, we don't get a lot of transfers. We don't want a lot of transfers. We want homegrown kids. And I think all of our sports teams did better this year than they did last year in some fashion. You know, the football team had a better record. Both cross-country teams qualified for the state tournament, or the state cross-country meet. Softball went to the semifinals with everybody back. Boys basketball went further than they have in several years. Of all the teams, and David knows this, they were the ones that didn't have a good year, but it's hard to follow what he's had the last 8 years. So, and he knows that. Moving into wrestling, we had 5 qualifiers this year, which doubled what we had last year. I think we had 3 last year, so almost double. Softball, slow pitch was regional runner-up, Trying to think real fast. Obviously, the girls golf finished 5th overall with Kylie Fisher, and if you hadn't seen her play, it's unbelievable. I mean, she hits it like a grown man, and she's cool, and she's good. So I think they're gonna be good again. Boys had a couple guys go to the state tournament. State track was they were the runner-up in the girls by 5 points. And Elsie tried to, if you guys know Elsie's gonna beat it to death. And he told me, if we would've done this, and we would've done this, and they didn't score it like they've been scored. They changed the scoring for the regional and the state. If they scored it like they score all year long, we would've won it. Which, that can go both ways. Usually they score the top 5, and at the state they do the top 8. Which we were 5 points away with a bunch of the team coming back. There was a few that graduated, but a lot coming back. Baseball, we doubled our wins from a year ago to 18, and have a lot coming back, and a bunch of new guys that are gonna be really good. So you look at the year, and there wasn't a lot of state titles. We did have 2 academic state championships, which I think that'll take you way further than, I've said it before, way further than sports will anyway. But you look at that, and you look at the nucleus of the kids coming back, and we're going in the right direction. I do feel like our culture is really good. We've hired a lot of new young coaches with a mix of the guys that have been here, and we're excited about that. We do need new energy, and that was something that we were kind of talking about. Like, some of these guys, not that they're bad, we just need new energy, and I think we've got that, and we're still looking for a few coaches. So yeah, I think going.
Do you wanna do your YouTube ad?
Do what?
I said, do you wanna do your YouTube ad like Nikki did?
Yeah. You're talking to YouTube.
We're looking. I know, we have one person watching probably, but.
Bryson's watching.
Yeah.
Hi, Bryson.
But no, going into summer, I talked with all the head coaches individually, and I always do. I think everybody's kind of excited about it. A lot of times they're ready to be done, and we had kids up there yesterday, with spring football, we had volleyball tryouts, and baseball tryouts, and the softball tryouts are tonight. And I think that speaks volumes of what those coaches are doing. If those kids are coming back the first day of summer, and they're excited to be there, and the adults are excited to be there, I think we're heading in the right direction. We do have a good group of guys that they do what's right for kids, and that's what we ask. You know, is it always pretty? No, but is there gonna be problems? Absolutely. Every family has problems, and it's like a big family. Our guys, they argue with each other, and we get to the bottom of it. But the guys that are here wanna be here, and that makes my job way easier. So, any questions?
I have two questions for you.
Okay.
How is and I think we talked about this a little bit at our special meeting because of the timing. So we aren't going to be able to use the turf field in the coming year. So junior high football, soccer, those groups that would normally be on the turf field, do we know, I mean, I know there are options. We can do away schedules completely. We can use maybe NSU for some of that. Have we got that worked out yet? Yes, plan.
Through email, yes. You know, that's gonna be a sit down summertime.
Right.
We have talked. Our partnership with NSU has gotten a lot stronger. Which, not that it wasn't strong, but it's gotten better. John's great to work with. You know, they were remodeling their softball field, so for the first 2 months of their softball team used our softball field. Obviously, we didn't charge. I'm sorry. We've used their tennis courts for a tournament. This fall, they're gonna have a huge MIAA tournament, and they wanna use our tennis courts. He said, absolutely. They've used our track. Different teams use our track. So I talked to him when we first passed the bond. We talked about, hey, we're gonna be displaced for a year. What do you think? And he's like, absolutely, we'll make it work. And we correspond through email, and we call and we talk. But the partnership's strong now, so I don't see it being a problem. They've been over backwards to help us, and we've done the same for them. You know, their basketball team uses our gym sometimes. So that working partnership is gonna be easier than it has been in the past with other administrators there. So it does look like we will play junior high football 4 dates, and then JV football 3 dates there. And our plan is to use the east side only. We won't use the big side just because of logistics of picking up all the trash, and you know, you open the big side and somebody's gonna sit at the top and they're gonna trash it, and you gotta walk all the way up. So we're gonna keep them on one side. Probably a skeleton concession because it is hard to get it all there and back, and they use it. It's hard enough on Friday nights to get everything there and back, and then if you were doing it on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, it would be a pain. So we thought about just a skeleton, a few drinks, some candy bars, that type of stuff, and then keep it open where they can use Express Stop or Dano's of their choice.
I was gonna ask if that, you know, cause that's if they don't have things there to eat for dinner, if they let them
both
bring it
gates
in and.
let them go to Express Stop.
Matt and I actually talked about this last week, and we were waiting for some renderings from our architect. That actually Stephen will get put up. I assume Stephen's guys put it up for us, but big signs that kind of show the progress. This is what's being built here at the field and at the middle school right now. And then when we have those graphics, we'd worked out some of those details that we're gonna put out on social media, because people are asking questions about like, well, where are we gonna play, or what's this gonna displace? So we're gonna share
Is
the
it just
information we
that,
can.
junior high, JV, football, soccer, are those the only sports that are directly impacted?
The Little League,
Oh, yeah.
Little League
Oh, yeah.
football, and then our PE classes.
Yeah.
There's somebody on that field year-round,
Yeah.
every day. You know, if it's not snowing or lightning, there's
Yeah.
somebody on it. So we've kind of got some plans in place that obviously PE won't be up there. And then the band uses it in the morning.
Will they
So-
go back to the other one?
Well,
or-
they will be able to use the field for a lot of the time.
Mhm.
There will just be specific times they can't. They'll be able to safety fence that portion off so we can practice. We just don't have the ability to have restrooms and concession stands and stands for people to sit in, so.
For the public, like
yes.
the kids will have the access to the bathroom right there on site, but.
On the campus, yeah.
My other other question, is a whole different, but I've been asked a few times recently, and I'm not looking for a long explanation, but, why we don't do athletics starting in 6th grade instead of 7th grade? Is that staff resources? Is that because we're doing other things? And I did not know the answer to that question, and I said I would ask, so.
That's been asked to me a million times.
I know,
And I
that's
would
what
love
people
it.
say, we
And I would love
ask.
it, and I think it's a
Not that
staffing
last
issue. I think it's a staffing issue,
Space.
spaces, locker rooms, gyms.
And that's because you're already staggering, you already have to figure out all these other 7th through high school that are
Mhm.
using them, so to add another baseball, softball, another basketball takes time, space, additional
manpower.
staff.
Mhm.
Okay.
And really, and it's been, and I won't give the long one either, but people say, well, you can just have your 6th graders play with your 7th, and they allow that, and you can, but then you're taking those 6th graders out of the classroom, and you've got, our bell schedules don't line up. So you've got high school guys that are coaching junior high, and then it would be a nightmare. Would I love it? Yes, I would like it to. I think we would get more of the country school kids earlier, and I think it would keep kids here through high school. I just don't know the map to get to that.
If money was not an issue, it absolutely would be the best plan. But, you know, like right now, most of his coaches coach middle school and high school both. And so if you are a high school teacher and you're coaching both, because we can't make times align exactly, they literally miss part of their practice or part of their plan every day to make even that switch happen.
And then on the academic side, when you're pulling those coaches out, now the high school teachers are taking the brunt of all the kids that are still, the other 1,100 kids that are still there, with fewer adults supervising.
Now, when you go into like competitive games, can 6th graders play? Can they play up? I mean, obviously 7th grade and 8th grade has separate football games. You know, baseball, it's a joint 7th and 8th grade team. Can 6th grade play on those teams?
They
Is that
can.
allowed?
They can. And in junior high baseball, there's a lot of times that we were playing with 6th, 7th, and 8th, against 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Right. It's not illegal, but we don't do it because they're not in that's not the hour that they can go to athletics or PE to be able to get all the other core content areas.
Okay, I didn't realize they could play up in football or other sports as well, so.
So it might, I mean, just throwing it out there, it might be worth another discussion about what a long-range plan, you know, not saying we start it next year or even the next, but.
And I would be all for it. Just know that I would be on board with that. It's just the logistics.
And we're gonna have some new facilities and a little bit more space. I mean, we're not getting a new gym, but, you know, it might be time to think about it again. I was asked specifically, why don't we? And I assumed it was for all of those reasons, but I had never asked and I didn't know, and I think it's a good conversation to have when we're, you know, having new facilities built and having a little bit additional space and additional sports. I mean, we wouldn't have to do everything in
Right.
6th grade. We could start with
Right.
one.
And
Well, we'd
we
have to start
do.
with 2, because you'd have to have male and female, but.
And a lot of places don't offer junior high baseball and junior high softball and junior high golf and junior high tennis. So we are kind of out there with more sports than a lot of places offer.
We do more with the 7th and 8th.
With 7th and
than
8th.
Others.
Than a
but
lot of
not
places. A lot of places don't play junior high baseball or softball. A lot don't play soccer. So,
And I received a question about that even for the lower grade, elementary, you know, why can't we, if you go to Briggs, you start playing basketball at 1st grade, and I mean, it's the same thing. We have one gym, we have one PE teacher. It's hard to have an entire 2nd grade class for 1 hour and be able to have a competitive team, or even just basic elements.
Well, those little schools, though, they may have basketball, but they don't have football and tennis and soccer and.
They do fewer things.
they do
longer.
fewer things, and they do
Yes.
longer.
Breadth
and
or width.
And they always have 2 dedicated people, like at first hour, it might be 2nd and 3rd grade basketball, well, the other teacher has the PE kids, and it's lower numbers.
Yes. Well, thank you, that's helpful.
All right.
Any other questions for Mr. Cloud?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Item G, superintendent's report.
That is your longest. All right, we are ending the 25-26 school year with a total of 3,517 students and 505 employees. For the 26-27 school year, we have a total of 3,408 students already enrolled across the district. That of course fluctuates over the summer with new students being enrolled, especially pre-K, kindergarten, ninth graders that are coming from county school.
Is that high for this time of year?
It seems a little bit high for right now, yes. Although like our pre-K numbers are a little bit low right now. The number does grow, it decreases, some will not return, then we get more transfers in. We'll open the transfers up and then the spots that we have will fill those spots as well. And so that portal opens on June 1st. We start taking applications on June 1st and we'll fill what we have capacity for. Few project updates. The central roof is complete, if you've been by that. So that is a great project that is finished. As far as other roofs, Sabrina and I have been working through what we anticipate our carryover to be. And we have a lot of things that need to be done within that carryover. So we'll have placeholders, for the lack of a better word. But we're gonna set aside about $500,000. We have a company that is going to go and assess all of our roofs across the district, and we will start chunking out a little bit of money every year. We're getting ready to do a lot of work on hallways and ceilings and floors, and it would be smart to fix the roof over that before we fix the walls. I remember seeing that as a baby principal at Cherokee a long time ago when they redid that the first time. And I remember standing in the hallway and they were doing the hallways and I said, but I can see the sky. And they're like, but we're not here to fix the roof. I'm like, well, that's a problem. So I don't want that to happen again. So we are going to have some money dedicated to that in our carryover. We also will have to have some money dedicated to some termites we found at pre-K, and we've got some things going on there. That's been taken care of, but there's gonna be, we'll have to assess the damage on that oldest portion of that building that's probably, at least 120 years old, that one portion, I think. On the bond, furniture orders are being delivered this week, next week. Surplus items are being sold to other districts daily as we get them, or, well, they're not sold, but they're like accounted for. Nikki has taken that over for me, thank you. And we first reached out to all the county schools, all the other area, in Adair County, anywhere around here, Shiloh Christian.
5 different schools.
So 5 have already come and have things accounted for, following what we worked with RFR, OSSBA, looked at the process, looked through our board policy. And so it's great to be able to see those items to go to some places that are in need for a low cost. Beginning Monday, June 1st, we'll begin to have bi-weekly meetings with the architect and the CM on all the projects that are with the bond. Demolition is underway on the field project, and dirt work started. Yay! Haven't been there to look today. So TMS projects, all contracts are being signed, and the contractors are going to be on site, I believe, this week to look at the plan edits. Demo should be beginning towards the end of this month. Starting, oh, she's like, yeah, let's do it. This meeting, we have a deductive change order that Mr. Ryan had mentioned at the special board meeting. That is on here from the first GMP after a scope change and rebid of a few items. We also have the GMP tonight for set 3 and 4 for heritage canopies, Sequoia sod, performing arts improvements, and the track resurfacing. And after this GMP, we are much closer back to the projected budget, only about 60,000 over, and we were at about 1.5 or 7 at one point. So thank you, Stephen. We will have our next set of bids in the few projects we rebid: press box, bleachers, plumbing, HVAC. Oh, we already did that. Sorry. I'm not going to go through the timeline because it's not really changed, but we've got a lot of moving parts this summer, and I know he's juggling contracts, times, places, and we are going to get everything possible that we can done. The one thing that was possibly, you probably thought would start right away is that band room, and if you were here at the special board meeting, I think you mentioned it, but we will wait until like end of September to get that started, which is going to put us a few months back further than we expected, but it's going to save money, and really we needed the time just on some edits that were suggested on the design that we're going to make it much more efficient and cost-effective for the district. Some shout-outs. Excellence was yesterday, and it was amazing. State Superintendent Lindell Fields was here, so that was super fun to have him. We began the program with the Heritage Stomp Team, and it made me cry. I was so proud of them. That team of kids, it just gives one more outlet for those kids that don't get plugged into somewhere. And I was watching it, I was thinking, our band teacher and our choir teacher and our dance teacher, they ought to be really excited about watching those kids up there because of that next generation that are gonna be moving up to those programs one day. And it was super special. And principals, we wanna start like that way every year. Something with babies that we're celebrating them. Although Amanda's like, I think they think they're already coming next year, like they're signed up. They might always be there.
I think we can ask a question about this, because do they do that after school? Someone told me, and they have to try out for, is it Boys and Girls Club? So it's like class that they go to in Boys and Girls Club? Is that how it was I'd never heard of that. I didn't know we had it. And they came out and they were amazing, and I was the first I'd ever heard of it, and it was great. Loved it. We found out yesterday, Oklahoma Public School Resource Center sent me an email, and the Tahlequah District was selected as a recipient of an inaugural Breakthrough School Award in Sustainability. So Nikki and I are gonna go attend a meeting in Norman on June 4th to get this district award, and so we're super excited about being honored about something. It's about academic growth, strong instructional leadership, measurable progress, and I know we have room for growth in our scores, and we're all hoping we're gonna see even more of that this year, but we're doing well, and we're sustaining it, and we're getting better every time, and that's really what's the most important, is that we're growing. And so it's great to be honored for that. Quick update on Gifted and Talented. I just wanted to let you know, this year we have at the time of this, total district enrollment of 3522. 804 are enrolled in our gifted program, so that's 22.82% of our district. They tested 210 students in 5th grade in September and 200 second graders in February, and that had about 40 new students identified. There were 80 online referrals received district-wide, and 65 of those were placed in the program following that evaluation. We also finished up the testing month, testing week, the big end of the year test, and these ladies did a great job, and gentlemen, of, sorry guys. Sorry to throw someone under the bus, but I won't. We tested almost every kid in the district, and that's one of the things that they target. Cherokee had 100% of their students tested. Greenwood, 100% of their students tested. Heritage had 99.9, had missed one kid. Tahlequah Middle School missed one kid. Tahlequah High School, 99, it doesn't have the number, but 288 out of 91. Only 3 high school kids didn't show up, and that's really amazing to me. Only 3 high school kids. So we all had 99% or 100% completion rates. We expect preliminary reports for the districts to review on June 2nd, and then those are posted in the parental portal on 6/9, but the final reports, we don't know when those will be, and that's kind of always a moving target. So we all wait for that week, and someone's like, they're up, and then we're all talking, and we're pulling them and looking to see.
Usually July?
Well, we always get something preliminary in June. It might not be all of it, it might just be a piece of it, and then sometimes we don't get the final results till fall. So hoping that we're in a better spot in our state right now, and they'll be a little bit more timely this year.
Do we know anything about, I know the last 2 years, they've changed the cut score.
It was not, yeah.
They mess with it.
But there wasn't a drastic change this year.
So
Yes.
this year's results should be comparable to last year's, just on raw scores.
Yes. Where last year wasn't, we had to go
Right.
back a year, and then they had changed it the year before that. We should have, yes, an apples to apples, pretty much. Child nutrition update, we served 88,214 emails in the month of April. And long story short, we were in the positive 14, did I say that wrong?
emails. You said
Oh.
instead of meals.
We served emails. We did
I
not
was
serve
going with
emails.
that.
We did not, we served food. We served food. But
Well, you answered a lot of emails.
we did. We are in the positive for $14,872 this month. So that's good. But she did say, but please know we purchased an oven, then the next time's gonna be a little bit
I
lower,
was
so.
trying to give you a little foreshadow.
Yes, but we're doing
You
well.
always do a bit.
And what we needed to happen in child nutrition, I think when we have the final numbers, we're going to be there. And what we want is that to be sustainable program, and that looks like where we are right now, that it is sustainable. So we got fingers, toes crossed that it's gonna be good when we look at it at the end. Upcoming dates, June 1st, we will begin that, we do about 7 weeks in the summer of no Fridays. And so that begins on June 1st. On June 16th is our next regular board meeting, and I just needed to double check that we were going to, that you would be able to be here, because I know President Nemo will not be here, so I wanted to make sure we were gonna have a quorum. So if you'll please check your calendar and make sure that that is a date that at least 3 of you can be here, so we don't have to move it. And then in July, we have, on the 14th, and we will have executive session. That will be the next time we do a portion of my evaluation.
In July.
In July, yes. And then I would say the August dates, but don't listen, guys. August 3rd, staff's back, and then August 6th, the students back. I gotta put it on here, because we gotta plan ahead. But they're like, we just finished yesterday. But we're gonna get out earlier next year, yeah. So, and we are working on setting a graduation date. I know that we've got a couple questions about that, and so we will get that out to the public just as quick as we possibly can. Probably still leaning towards, that Sunday would be, I think, the 16th, because the 9th is Mother's Day, and I don't know that having graduation on Mother's Day is the best plan. So, yeah, it is a good gift to watch your child, graduate, but.
Might be a,
Your Mother's Day gift?
I think it might, I mean, we did survey last time, that might, I don't know how early we have to set it.
I know people want to know now, so we need to figure it out, I think, before the next board meeting, so we can have it voted on the calendar, to add to the calendar then. But we can certainly put a survey out and ask questions like that.
I feel like Mother's Day is already kind of a gathering time, and
Yeah,
people
well-
might prefer that.
It might. We'll get it out on, we'll ask some questions. We'll ask some questions, but that is the end of my report.
Do we have any questions or comments from Ms. Tanya?
No, the awards that you're getting on June 4th, is that from the K-12 where is that?
The Oklahoma Public Resource Center is something that Dr. April Grace is the executive director of. It's likened to OSAC or COSA.
Okay.
Something that has just really grown in stature in the last couple years. Do a lot of professional development, do a lot of teacher training. Administration, they'll come this summer and do the TLE, the TLE retrain with all of us. And so it's something we're super proud of.
And what was the award?
The award was called, I wanna misspeak, Sustainability Award, yes. Breakthrough School Award in category of sustainability. That means we've got it, we're going, like Matt said, we're going in the right direction.
Any other questions, comments? All right, item H, and I am making a slight change from what the agenda item says. Presentation by Corbin Jarvis for the district property and casualty insurance.
Yeah, no work comp today. We've got it out to a couple of carriers, OSAG, of course, but we're waiting on numbers back from them. But I did bring you OSIG, which is our Oklahoma Schools Insurance Group. We've been members of OSIG for a number of years. It is a not-for-profit, member-owned school organization that basically joins all the school districts in the state under one policy. A couple of changes this year that they've made. Our coverage limits are over $30 billion for property and contents throughout the state. So what we've done in the past is we've just purchased $1.5 billion policy and shared those limits. It's $1.5 billion per occurrence, and our actuaries tell us that we would never have a loss that would exceed over $1.5 billion. Well, this year they changed those numbers and said, you need to go up to $2 billion. You exceeded the 30 billion mark, and there is potential, very small, that we could exceed $1.5 billion loss in one incident. So this year we went from $1.5 billion to $2 billion. Of that $2 billion policy, Tahlequah Public Schools has $224,865,000 in buildings and contents. So considerable amount of buildings. We have those listed in your proposal. It's 3 or 4 pages. We won't go through all that. Jackie Willis is at work about me upon it, so we'll let him go do that. The program has it's a broad program, specialized for school districts, has the liabilities that are needed for this, that are pertinent to school districts, your auto, all your buses, your general liability, cyber liability. It has just the gamut of cyber protection that we continue to add to every year. So, on our property, to jump back to it, one of the things that I was wanting to discuss with the board, we had talked about, when we met with Tammy and Jackie and Sabrina, our main building at Central, the old junior high from Tammy there, that 3-story building, we have that covered currently for $9,575,000 for the building and the contents. Now, that's what it would cost us to put that building back up today. The building has been vacant for a number of years now. The coverage cost on that is $26,000 a year. And I wanted to present the board and ask this question: do we want to insure that building? What I'd like to recommend is that we put debris removal only on it, because there is going to be an expense if we have a roof blow off. If the city comes in and condemns it, we've got to take it down. If there's a fire in it and half of it burns, there's going to be some expense to take it down and remove it. I'm estimating that at about $700,000. That premium would be about $1,900 a year to insure it for just debris removal only. Is that something that I'd like the board to take into consideration?
Tell me, I mean, we can talk about that. So we have presentation on our agenda. Is this on our agenda for approval, or would we bring it back?
Well, I think more than anything, just needing feedback on how to insure it.
Right.
It's not necessarily approval of the policy itself, but I think it's just more feedback on.
Are you, so that's my question. So we have, for approval tonight, agreement to provide general liability, which would include this current amount, $9 million, $26,000 premium.
It would, and we can endorse a policy at any time.
So we could change it, because I feel like that's I think we should go down, but I feel like that's a decision that we should actually vote on, because it's a pretty big decision. But I think discussion now under this item is appropriate, and then we could put it on our next agenda item to change it, and it would drop the premium, is what you're.
Okay.
What would be the drop in premium?
$26,010.
40? 20.
$26,010, and then to add debris removal only on it is another $1,901. So your savings is $24,108.
Who's currently officing in that building? Who uses that building on a regular basis?
Nobody.
It's just, this is just, well,
What's in there?
Yeah, we're moving it, the back factory.
But nobody
it's
offers.
just the brick part, it's
Yes.
not the other metal building part on
Okay.
that.
the two-story, section of that building. And we did have some in the back side of it that's attached that was built on at some point. That's where Tila's Cherokee Nation Head Start was, and right now they're gone when they got their new building, built, south of town. So there are no children, no one offices. There is a backpack room that we're working on moving to a different part of Central. We're really working on that campus and kind of, we're changing the face of it to face Mission? Yes, Mission, and going to fence that off and rearrange how we're using some of those buildings to make it more efficient. And so Central has been empty for at least 20 years. Yeah, at least 20 years. We have storage. We do keep things in that. We hoard things in that. I did not cut my eyes towards anyone. But it is something I think we should entertain as well.
Is this something that if we reduce it now, is it something that we're able to pick back up again in the
We can
future?
endorse, this is your policy, we can endorse it at any time and add coverage. If we remodel something and go to using a portion of it, we can add that portion back to
Okay.
the policy.
Is it all or nothing? You said like.
It's not
even if
necessarily an all or nothing.
portions of it?
So we've got the old cafeteria, which was an add-on. We could conceivably put that back on the policy as a separate building.
Okay.
But yeah, the main building itself, it's pretty much we either have it or we don't.
The one section that he's talking about would be the one thing that I would want us to consider if we ever thought of using the cafeteria and that one wing that Tila has been using. At some point, we used to have conversations with East Coast Migrant, who rents another one of those buildings on that campus. I thought they wanted to move into that, but it's a federal grant and they're real iffy right now, so those conversations have kind of stopped for right now. I think they're just waiting to see what happens in their world, and stick where they are. But if their funding becomes more stable, I think they would look at wanting to use that. And there might be other things that we come up with that we might possibly want to use that space for at some point, because it's usable without giant renovations. I mean, it's not fancy by any means. I would love Stephen to go in there and do something to it, but it is in a lot different shape than the other old two-story portion.
Well, and keep in mind, simply because we don't have the structure itself insured, doesn't mean that we can't use it. Our liability will continue to extend to the building. So the school district's protected from the liability standpoint.
So if it fell in on someone,
You've got coverage.
They just wouldn't pay to rebuild it.
We wouldn't.
We would pay to take care of
We're gonna pay to
whoever.
haul it off, but we're not gonna use it.
and then we
Pay to
could
get
get
it
it hauled off. So this is if something damages that structure, we would not have coverage to fix it,
Repair it,
repair
right.
it.
Would we anyway?
And that's the question that we need to ask ourselves. If it's not being used, and we're trying to spend our dollars wisely, then, we had that choice.
I have a question about that. So you said that we currently have it insured for $9 million. And that's total replacement value?
Yeah, and that's what we get to, and that's what we're trying to provide, is total replacement, because we can't go buy a used building and put it in there. If something occurs, we've got to be able to replace, repair.
And that's my because it's dilapidated and it's empty, if it was just a partial damage, I mean, they're not going to pay $9 million to completely renovate it if part of the roof collapses. They're gonna pay to fix
Right,
that
but
part of the
that
roof.
is our exposure.
Right.
So that's why we put it, that's why we have it at
Right.
$9.5 million. We also have contents in it, and contents in it is just a portion of it. It's automatically 10% of your coverage. So we actually really have $8.5 million on the building and another $1 million on the $850,000 on the
Prom dresses.
contents.
And I do.
You have to think, if something happened to part of it, we wouldn't want to spend the money out of pocket to
That's what I'm
fix it.
saying.
Would we
But
rebuild
would we
it
let the
build
building
out?
just go totally, and that's kind of a landmark. This is a Sequoia
Yeah. I think
question.
It's why it was a big
That's
wish
why
of
it's
mine on
presented
this
to you.
past bond that we wanted to fix, but, It's so expensive to fix that I don't know that we'll ever catch up to being able to fix it.
And that type of construction, and I think you could
Does anyone
could
talk to
testify
Beth
to that.
Arrington?
That type of construction is a lot like this building. It's not
Can
the
of
way we
worms.
build it anymore.
Can of worms, yeah, you said can of worms. See, like, they thought this one was bad?
Right. So,
I've looked at that building.
Well, and I think that, and Cammy, I think you probably know this just from hearing Tanya talk about it but the plan for this building was kind of the original plan for that building in the bond, but we
Mhm.
weren't gonna
Yes.
be able to afford it. And I say that only because now we've got a 17-year bond. If we don't have we know we don't have plans for it in the next 17 years because we aren't going to have any money for it. And again, this is only if something happens to it, but that's
in those
$100,000 every 4 years, that's $300,000 over, the length of the bond, that we could do a lot of other things with. And even if it were total replacement, let's say something catastrophic did happen to it, and it were total replacement, it wouldn't be the historic building, because you would have to go do all the bringing it up to code and all the things, and it would,
Demolish it and start over. yeah.
people would know that it was that building, but it wouldn't be that building.
Right. In essence, we're not gonna build that building back. We're going to build a new building.
But a new building that size would cost what to build?
Not many numbers, these ones
You
probably
think,
pretty close.
you
I
think
know
you
it's
could do it for
square
$9 million?
footage exactly.
I think
what our
we
insurance
figured
is.
around $300 a square
Yeah.
foot, so, and we may be a little bit light on that, but with it being 3-story, we felt
But
like it's.
could we see possibly eventually a ninth grade center there?
That is the only, that's kind of where I've settled on in my mind, is saving that piece of property for that. If we see huge expansion one day at the secondary level, do we create a ninth grade center there? You'd obviously have to remodel that, but you could put a ninth grade center there and then have 10, 11, 12. If you have expansion at the elementary level, I feel like we have that piece of property near the softball, baseball fields. That's where I would suggest you build a fourth elementary if you ever had to have a fourth K-5 building. So that would be the one thing that I would think would possibly happen there one day, is that.
Maybe
But
even an eighth
realistically,
grade.
you would have to take it down anyway.
It still would be so expensive
I mean,
to
if you're-
renovate.
Right, if you're going to have to take it down, you still own the property.
We were gonna renovate it though,
But
For
for this, what was that cost?
Well, anywhere from $6 to $8 million is what we were told, and that was just not feasible in the amount we had.
To renovate something like that's equivalent to new build.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
it,
harder.
it does have some historical
It does.
merit and value. So, little
I was there 4
sentimental
years
here
ago.
about that
Well, your
building.
heart says save it, but your logic says you can't. I mean, there's a point where you just have to break your heart.
Well, we wanna save
I
it,
bet
we're
you
not
didn't
talking about
go to
losing it,
junior
we're
high
just
then.
talking
I
about
did not.
gambling that nothing bad happens to it.
Yeah,
And I go back to, even if something bad did happen to it, and we continue to carry this coverage, we
We'd
would
have to
eventually have a
redo.
nice new building, but we wouldn't have central.
right.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have use for it, does it sound like?
Right.
We're not using it
Yeah.
currently. If it's something that, and I always try to push this, if it's something that you're gonna rebuild, then by all means, let's insure it. If it's something that we need, by all means, that's what your insurance is for, so that we can put you back where you were before the time of loss. But before you were, the time of loss on this building is not using it. So, it's one of the, you're not talking about a great deal of your insurance premium, but I do wanna present ways of saving some premium. On this building, one of the changes that we saw in this renewal, our building up the road was not in a flood zone A. Therefore, it was covered under our flood policy that comes with OSIG. This one is in a flood zone A. The backside of it is in the flood zone A. On your last page there's figures. It's $15,000 on our initial $500,000 coverage for flood. Hence the, ways to come up with saving the premium. show flood insurance coverage for the full $5 million for this building. Was it $4 million something dollars on that last page?
4,037,000.
With a flood, it's not gonna take down this building, but it may get damage up in the sheet rock flooring. You know, conceivably, $500,000 is probably gonna cover, if this place ever floods, the majority of the damage. So, what I was trying to do was balance out, you know, the additional cost. And honestly, with flood, it's a choice as well. It's not a mandated coverage. You know, it's not anything that we have to do, but I wanted to let you guys be aware of the fact that flood is not going to be a covered peril on this building. This is the only building that's in a flood zone area. Lucky us.
And is that the flood that's shown here, is any of that, this is, I guess, another kind of more procedural question, is that in what we're approving tonight, or do we need to make a decision on that as
You know,
well?
that really is, that's a good question, Heather. And
Okay.
that's probably had us word that wrong, didn't I? Vote to approve should have been on the agenda. I've got to be back here this next month
Okay,
for work comp. If we can table these decisions, is something that we can.
Table the contract later in the agenda.
no, I think he's,
Wait till next month.
The decisions to either, how we want the final policy issued.
Yes, but the item we have later on, would we table that, the agreement?
I think we kind of have to.
Okay,
We're
yes,
gonna have
just
to,
wanna make sure that's what.
just because that agreement comes with us finalizing,
Okay,
the contract. So,
and we don't have any timing issue with, we're
June-
covered.
June 16th, right?
yes,
Is
Yes.
the- is the board- okay. No.
Okay.
As long as we get it in by June 30th, we're good.
Okay,
the premium summary that you have at the back though, the expiring premium was 739,000, and the 26-27 renewal was 722. So that was a savings.
It is a savings.
But does that savings with the 722, does that include flood or taking or not?
That is not including the flood.
Or the
That
central
is
piece.
including central.
It is including central. So if we drop
The
central
central at
down.
the 26.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, that $26,000 savings is included in that 722. So that would drop our premium back down to.
Closer to
I was-
700.
Then
I
the
was
40 is
educated in
added back.
Tahlequah, so my
Yeah.
math is.
Hey now, listen, you were educated in Tahlequah, so you should be able to do that in your head.
690.
So we'd drop it down to about 700,000, and then we would figure out if we removed the central piece, and then we would do the primary or the excess flood, but possibly could be as little as 715,000 with no central and primary flood only.
can we, related to that, I think, and I'm not gonna be here, so I'm just thinking whoever's gonna be leading, Sean, at the June meeting, it might be helpful to have for the agenda, if I'm figuring statistics right, I think this makes us 6 different options with the central or not, and the 2 options of flood or not, but have A, B, C, D, E, where the motion would then be, after discussion, which one of those
Okay.
to approve, instead of voting, do we include flood or not, do we do central or not? I think if we had basically this premium summary with, and I think it would be 6 options.
Option A, option B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would just, I think they could discuss and then move to approve one of those options.
I will have that in proposal form with numbers.
Perfect. And we will, when we get there, we will table the, one that's on our agenda tonight. It is 2AC.
Sorry to confuse the matters, but I
No,
won't.
that's-
No, that's good.
That's why we discuss it.
And you tried
That's why you present it and we discuss it.
He tried to call me earlier today, but I was
We
out
were
of
busy,
pocket,
yeah.
so we had a 5-minute conversation 15 minutes before the board meeting, so.
We'll take care of it. Any further questions on this? This is not a motion. We'll get to that on agreements.
Any other questions about your insurance, scenarios that keep you awake at night?
It is good news overall that premiums went down.
Going down.
Always
You know, and
Mine
something
never,
like-
yeah. My insurance doesn't.
I've got to say, our premium would actually be a bit less expensive, with it, if it hadn't been for our legislators, changing the tort limits in everything. If you notice, all our primaries are at 2 million, where they were at 1 million last year, which drove up the cost by about 15,000.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. With that, we will. All right, we will move on to item I, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the following surplus, items 1, 2, and 3. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
We will have Ms. Hires make that and Ms. Crawford second it. Any discussion?
Just reminding you, we're gonna have quite a few options on here, or things listed as we get rid of the furniture that we are replacing with the bond money provided by the community.
Ms. Hires? Aye. Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And aye. Item J, excluding, and we will vote on it separately, item J2AC. Do I have a motion to approve item J1 through 3?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'm not gonna skip this time because we did last time, but we do have the GMP, 2 GMPs on here. Tina talked about some of it. Do we have do you have information for us? Do we have questions? I have one question. What did we land on the rebid on the bleachers? Because we talked about the seats.
They have your seats.
Okay. They're not my seats.
They have your seats.
They are the seats that we showed the community.
They are.
The seat backs
The
and the
folding
backs
seats.
and kind of what's that overall
The
like?
upper center portion of the home site bleachers will have
Okay.
The
chairs.
center.
They're referred to them as chairs.
They're not my seats. They were seats that were on the
The rest of the
pictures.
bleachers will not have any seat back, so any stadium chair will function on that bleacher.
Yes, again for you two, teasing her. That is what we showed the public, and then we had looked at something else when we went and visited prior, and then got feedback from multiple sources that those are not as nice as they're all cracked up to be, and then you can't use the folding seats when you wanted it to use it. And so when they repriced it with what we had initially put out to the public. But I think that the biggest,
So there will be backs?
there will be seat backs for
But
Actually, chairs.
the
Chairs.
chairs,
Folding.
yes,
Like
folding
it is
chairs.
chairs, yes.
Folding chairs, there are,
I think the bottom folds up.
how many are there?
Yeah, 400.
400, I think there are 400. I think there are 400 of those, top in the middle,
And
or
what
section.
is
of that.
total seating?
Okay.
4,000.
Yes.
And what is an SU? Do we know? Matt, do you know?
It's about 8,200.
And then we have 1,000 on the visitor side.
Do we know how many people are at graduation?
A lot.
It was as full as I remember seeing it. I don't think those people will all fit in
Well,
5,000 seats,
we-
but we have.
we talked about that. I said, I think we'll have to have graduation facing,
Oh, yeah,
in
we'll have to use
post.
both sides.
We'll have to use both sides. We could rent more chairs to put out,
Infield
in
seating.
the field. You've got a lot of green space that people could stand, bring chairs. I think we can squeeze them around.
No, I think they'll fit in the facility. I don't
Yeah.
think they will fit in the stands. And even at this, I mean, there were people, I'm sure you saw on the sides, that I guess they just thought we could see better here than we can up there. And I think it's the biggest one we've had. It's the biggest one we've had since I've been
When
on the board.
we were staring at it all, and I was thinking the same thing, I'm like, this is a lot of people.
I mean, there were, the only places in the home stands at NSU that were not full was where it's flagged off at the top for the advertising. And I mean, you could see a couple of spots up there, but it was
pretty
packed.
It was a good party. It was a hot
It
party.
was. Okay, any other questions on any of the consent items? All right, we'll have a vote. Ms. Hires?
I
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. And I need a motion to table item J2AC to our next regular board meeting.
I will make that motion.
I'll give that one to Ms. Crawford with a second to Ms. Hires.
That's great.
Any further discussion? Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. Item K, discussion and vote to approve the revision of the following policies. 1, student transfer, and 2, discipline and suspension. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I did have one on the discipline and suspension. So we're striking all of that, nothing new being written for that, just striking that totally from the policy.
So, and this is actually discipline and suspension procedures for special education students. So our old policy hadn't been updated, it's like 1996, I think. So that was just part of our, we had a high number of suspensions last year. So that was part of our improvement plan, was going over that. We have our new policy that will be in our new policy book. So instead of going in and making edits, we just struck everything and we took the new policy that will be in the policy book that you guys will approve probably this summer. But we had to get it done before May 31st. We wrote, the state agreed to let us wait, but we thought we would have it done, but we got bumped, I think, on the
list.
lineup.
Cammy, we've been working for over a year redoing the entire board policy with OSSBA. It needed a complete overhaul after we started looking at it. So the couple things we have done recently, like when she came to that, I was like, we can't edit, we had the new policy, but we couldn't edit a policy that wasn't a policy yet. So, like, scratch it all, write the new in, and then we will adopt an entire new board policy with an entire new numbering system once that we have all of that back from them, but it has been a lengthy progress.
And I sent that draft policy to the State Department in November, and they approved it. Like, I thought it was good. We didn't have any edits needed or recommended, so we've been working from that. Just gotta get it on minutes before May 31st.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. Stuck together. Item L, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the scheduled encumbrances, item 1 and 2. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I'll give that one to Ms. Hires. We gotta get our, we're gonna figure it out.
I was gonna pause.
When everyone's here, we usually do both on this side and then both on this side to keep us moving. We'll get it down. Any discussion? Ms. Hires? Aye. Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. I will make a motion to approve item 1M through, M1 through 8 with the inclusion of the following: Zoe Jones, teacher; Megan Bell, sped teacher; Rosalia Provenzano, teacher; Libby Osborne, teacher. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. And we do have new business today. We have, an employee who was resigning because they were moving, and they're no longer moving, and, they have moved to rescind their resignation. And that is, item A on new business, motion and vote to approve or not approve the following personnel items: the rescission of the resignation of Natasha McIntosh a counselor at Sequoia, and I will make that motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Hires?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Crawford?
Aye.
And I. And with that, we